make a video. I know it's dark, y'all. It is nighttime, and I'm not gonna turn on my light in my car just because I'm driving. So, but I do want to make this video because y'all, I be ghosting social media. I be straight ghosting social media, not on purpose, y'all, but I be live your life, Brianna. I be living my life, y'all. Anywho, I want to tell y'all about this experience that I had today, or what I experience I've been having as of late. So, try to make this under 10 minutes, y'all. So, damn. Sorry, y'all. Spirit is literally talking to me right now. All right. So, I met this lady today. Okay, so I do Uber from time to time, right? I do Uber from time to time. And I met this lady today, and she got in my car, and it's got to be the energy that I carry because, baby, people be telling me their most vulnerable of vulnerable things, whether they know me or don't know me or just met me or know me for years. I always end up knowing way more about a person than I should. um, so we're quiet in the car. I really don't care for music or anything like that in my car, but sometimes I will play music just to break up the silence in the car. But anyways, so we get to talking, and she tells me that I'm taking her to go see her doctor because she has cancer. And I didn't I you know how some people say, "Oh my god, I'm so sorry." I didn't do that to her. Because what I've realized is people that have health issues and are going through it and have these diagnoses, they do not want pity. They don't want pity. They just want to feel seen and heard. And that is what I offered her on this Uber trip. And the trip was about 23 minutes long, I think. So we had a good amount of time to talk, and we talked about family. We talked about her family. We talked about, where she is emotionally and mentally, physically with the cancer. And y'all, let me tell you something. She said one day she just woke up and she couldn't walk. She had no symptoms at all of the cancer. Oh, is there an accident? I thought it was construction. I see the police here. And she said she had no symptoms, no previous symptoms. And the doctor said that, it's because you've been so good to your body, you've been so healthy. And she used to be a runner as well as a yoga instructor. And now she is so weak that she cannot, of course, do neither. And y'all, she sat in my back seat and she said, I asked her, how are you doing with it? How are you coping with it? And y'all, she said, you know, I just don't want to die. And the tone in which I heard her say it in it didn't tug at my heart. It grabbed my heart. It grabbed my heart. I just don't want to die. And even though you can tell she was very thin, um, maybe she was dressed. Do you hear me? Color coordinated, dressed. And I asked her certain questions, such as, I really can't remember word for word the questions I asked because this was earlier today. Um, but I just remember her saying that in her career, she was an engineer. She was an engineer, and she said, I gave everything, everything to this company, everything to this company. And she brought in a lot of money for this company. And she was on FMLA, and they did not extend her FMLA. And they end up terminating her So she didn't have a job, which means she's not getting any income coming in. And she was saying, don't worry about me. I've been making ends meet. My family's been really good and supportive. And she's a grandmother, a mother, a grandmother, all these things. And she said if she can recover from this diagnosis, she said, I will never work for anybody else again. And she said that she would do everything in her power to never work for anyone. And that was a light bulb moment, because that's how I always felt. That is how I always feel when it comes to a job, when it comes to employment. Is that okay, I don't want to get on that. Let me stay on track while I'm making this video. And so, we talked. She shared some things about her family. I shared about my family. And she was asking me, how do you keep your car so clean? And then another writer before her, like a couple writers before her, asked the same thing. He was just like, wow, your car is really, really clean. And I was like, I don't do nothing special to this car. I said, I think I'm OCD. I think I could be OCD when it comes to messes and just seeing things that I don't want to touch. I know I can just clean them. Okay, no more traffic. So I'm trying to decide, should I continue on the video and just post it like this with it being dark, or should I just redo it? I'm not redoing this video. I barely posted videos. I'm not redoing this video. So anyways, so I did my best not to show, well, I didn't show her any pity. We talked, we laughed a little bit. And she just kept reiterating, if there's no, she's like, it's just so important to get that checkup. Even if you don't have any symptoms, and maybe someone needs to hear that is viewing this video, is that even if you don't have any symptoms, it's still important to go be seen and get that. I think I should have went right. It's important to be seen by your healthcare provider, or healthcare professional. I'm downtown Dallas now, y'all, so don't let the noise distract you from the message. But a couple of things that stuck with me with her was how adamant she was about what she would put her energy into if she had the energy to be quote unquote whole and healthy again, and it wouldn't be building up someone else's dream, or continue to build up someone else's dream, someone else's desire. And I really wanted to ask her like the regular questions, but I didn't. I just let her talk. And I let her talk about whatever she wanted to talk about was fine with me. And the funny thing is, 2 weeks before this, I got another writer where there were some frustrations around the pickup address, and so I had to go even further out to pick him up. But I'm glad I did, because once I got to him, I was having a rough morning, and he had a whole, it wasn't a speech, but everything he had to say to me fed my soul. And basically he was saying that, you gotta continue to get up and be that gangster, be that warrior, despite what it looked like, what it feel like, and some other things that really helped me. And then there was someone else as well that had an issue, a health issue, and was just feeding me, feeding my soul because of their current life experiences. And it made me want to live. Listening to her really made me want to live. It made me, I'm seeing the Seven of Pentacles. It made me really want to reevaluate how I'm living my life. And like I was telling her, like, I can be such a workaholic. I can really hone in and hyper focus on something and just work, sleep, eat, work until that thing is complete, until it's finished. Even to the point of where I'm sacrificing my love life because I don't want to rest. I want to work until this thing is complete and taken care of and paid. And I'm telling y'all, hearing her say, I don't want to die. I have grandkids. I don't want to die. My grandson is going to school to be an engineer, following after his grandmother's footsteps. And I know she wants to be there to see him graduate, be here to see him graduate, and literally watch him follow in her footsteps. And she talked about her issues with just everything that comes along with having that kind of diagnosis, and having even the energy to even get up and get dressed and to go see all of the necessary specialists, you know. But I guess I'm just making this message because listening to her say, I don't want to die, really makes me want to live. And it made me think about, when was the last time you really had fun? You really, all the hard work that you're doing, when is it going to be just for you? And I said, okay, I really have to do better at having fun and living my life, living it. Because this woman who is in such close proximity to me is faced with day to day, hour to hour, life changing so rapidly on her, physically and otherwise. And here I am, hyper focused on paying the next bill. And you know, just making sure I can stay above water. But when do I schedule time to really live? Because she wants to live, honey. She wants to live, and she doesn't know when she's going to get that next opportunity to do so. But I, on the other hand, I still have that opportunity to live. And that's what I want to share with you, is that if you are catching this message, you still have the opportunity to live. And I know we have to pay bills here to live on this earth, to have, you know, certain needs met in order to live. You know, I know. But, and however, and although, I never want to be in a predicament, position, situation where I'm saying, just like her, I don't want to die. I want to live. When it is my time, I want to be so drained and exhausted because I have lived, because I have done all the things. I'm not saying that she did, but I don't want to look back and say, man, I should have ate that. I should have went there. Man, why didn't I just put that concert ticket on a payment plan and went about my business and went? Man, why didn't I, work a little bit more so I can go on this crazy wild ass trip? I was being too practical. I was being too practical with my finances, and that's why I didn't do the thing. A lot of times in people's lives, we have the money and not the time, or we have the time and not the money to do the thing. And we owe it to ourselves to balance that shit out and do it. Because you don't want to be this person that was sitting on my back seat saying, I don't want to die. And I'm adding to that by saying, I want to live. After she left, I wanted to hug her, but I didn't. Boundaries. I'm not a touchy-feely person. I don't like everybody touching me. I just looked her in her eye, that contact, and I just told her, like, I'm so happy that I met you today. I'm so happy I met you. I'm so happy we crossed paths, because we may never cross paths again, ever. In the whole entire existence of the universe, I may never, ever, ever meet this spirit, this energy, this person ever again in this timeline or the next one over. And she blessed me by sharing her life experience with me, and she didn't have to. She could have just got in my car and just been quiet, and but she didn't. And I am in so much gratitude because she was vulnerable with me and she shared. So I'm saying, damn, what the fuck? Not me up here like telling myself, girl, go home. Go home, girl. It made me call 3 people when she left. I called my mother. I called my sis friend. And I called another person. You got another person. Because I just did. I called them and I said, I have to stop putting things on the back burner when it comes to visiting someone like my mom, when it comes to, aligning my schedule with my person's schedule so we can spend time together. I really have to stop and not see it as a sacrifice, but see it as, at this big old age, I'm living. And a lot of people that did not wake up today don't get to live. So that's the message. That's the message. I love you all so very much. These are very weird, energetic times right now. And all I can say is, do what feels best for you to do. Do what brings you peace. Follow your intuition. Allow your intuition to guide you. Take care of your mental health. Take care of your emotional health. Take care of your physical health. Take care of your spirit health. All the things. Because it's so important. And I'm going to tell you another thing. Is when I rolled up to the hospital, all I kept hearing in my right ear was, this is wealth. Health is wealth. This is wealth. And so we're calling on prosperity and wealth and to be happy and rich and da da da. Remember that health is wealth. And money just happens to, follow, just sprinkle this stuff up in there. But real wealth is being able to get up in that physical body and do the things. Be the things. Dress how you want to dress. Eat what you want to eat. Live how you want to live. Do whatever you want to do with your body. Not feel any restrictions on your body because your health is intact. That is the real wealth. She used to be a yoga instructor, a runner. I couldn't imagine the misery of being a runner and doing yoga to one day I got up and I couldn't walk. That is beyond traumatic. So yeah, y'all, that's what I got for y'all. Take care of yourselves and do what brings you peace.